D2. Weleetka coach Tristan Garringer and Seiling coach Manuel. We'll start with Coach Garringer. You can give an opening statement and introduce your players that you brought with you today.
Yeah, like all these coaches said up here, it's a really cool deal to bring my kids up here. You know, we come from an exceptionally small town. Getting them this opportunity, I want to thank the media and of course UCO and of course OSSAA for having us. Behind me I have Isaiah Drake. He's our quarterback and middle linebacker. He started for me since he was a freshman. Next to him is Bryant Seitz. He plays receiver for us. He plays a lot of DB and linebacker for us as well. And our third player is number 11, Noah Hare. He's a junior. He plays D-end for us. And on offense, this shows you how small school ball works. He plays guard for us. He plays running back for us. He plays tight end for us. And a lot of our different sets. So all three are really special players. I mean, they make my job completely easy. I mean, you know, I kind of just, you know, it's one of these are some of these group of kids that I have right now where you kind of just let them play fast, let them play physical, let them do their thing, kind of eliminate as much thinking as you can for them. And I want to talk about, you know, the players that aren't with us. You know, we lost 11 seniors last year, and a lot of those dudes were four-year starters for us. And we've had freshmen step up, sophomores, juniors, some kids that haven't, you know, ever started or played, you know, varsity snaps for us have stepped up and helped us get to where we are right now.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say thanks to the OSSAA and the media and UCO for putting this deal on. You know, I've been very fortunate to make my fourth consecutive trip with these guys. But the thing about the guys that I brought with me, they've been starting for me since they were freshmen. But the other deal is I've coached these guys since they were in third and fourth grade. I've been their only football coach. So I've had these guys since they were little and kind of brought them up. And the guys that I have with me is Rush Hunt. He plays running back and DB. And then Blake Chain, you can just list him as an athlete. He does everything for us. We had a big game, you know, big district game. Our big guard goes down in the first drive of the game. He ends up going in and playing guard for us and did a really good job. And the other player I brought was Jason Baker, who plays DN and wide receiver for us.
For Weleetka's players, talk about how much the success that you had in last year's championship game, how much do you think that will help you, if any, this time around?
Well, I just think staying consistent in what we do and the weight room stuff will help, and just staying consistent, really.
I like to think that it's a new year, so it's a clean slate. I don't think I want to take anything from last year's game and bring it to this year. I want to start new, play better, more physical, and everything like that.
For Coach Manuel, you've basically coached all most of these dudes since, like you said, second or third grade. From just overall the players and human beings from them, what have you just seen from them, just from a growth standpoint, from then until now?
Well, these guys have really grown just over the years, just watching them develop and their bodies change in the weight room. And not only that, you know, the transformation that they had off the field as far as doing things the right way, you know, getting good grades in school and all of those things.
To both of you coaches, I'm curious if you could just talk about the challenge of when you do have guys go down and figuring out how to plug them in. I could have asked Matt the same question, but at the 8-man level, just the challenge when you are dealing with the smaller roster. I watched Coach Montgomery and Coach Blankenship kind of chuckle at the idea of moving some of these positions around. But just how do you do that? How do you figure out sort of what pieces to plug in when you do have an injury or a hole in a spot?
Well, you got to have kids that you can trust. I think that's the biggest thing. You got to have guys that you can trust. And, you know, Blake went to guard that game. I didn't really know he was in the guard, okay, until one of the coaches doing? He was like, well, kind of throw our whole game plan out the window because, you know, he plays tight end, H-back, and we have to do a lot of different things different. But it's 8-man's a unique game, you know, because you have a lot of guys play both ways. You know, guys get hurt, you got to move guys around. I mean, it's a unique game. You got to really think, and your kids got to understand what they're doing.
Yeah, like you said, you gotta have a lot of trust in your younger guys and your everyone else that's, you know, not that starting 8 for you. We played with Columbus a couple weeks back, and our quarterback, he dislocates his fingers, and one of them actually pops out of the skin and breaks. And luckily, Bryant, we put him at quarterback, and he's played a couple snaps in 8th grade as a quarterback. And then he comes in, and actually the first drive he comes in, he breaks off, you know, a 40-yard run for a touchdown. And we have a freshman at quarterback that, you know, we weren't sure how much he was going to be able to get to play last week with his stitches and everything. And we had a freshman at quarterback come in. And same thing. He ends up throwing 3 for 3 for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns and in that game. And yeah, it's just having a lot of trust in your younger guys and making sure in practice they know where they're going. You know, if so-and-so gets hurt, you know, in practice you do that a lot. You know, I'll say, you know, I'll just throw a fake injury out there. So-and-so's hurt, we got to have someone plug in. And then usually when you have someone plug in for that, you got to have to run another guy plug in for that spot. So it's a lot of growth and maturity from these guys, learning what everybody's doing on every position.
This one's for the players. Having to play multiple positions at any given time, how do you guys stay ready to be able to do that?
Well, you got to pay attention in practice, and listen to what your coaches say, and make sure you're always ready.
The weight room and a lot of conditioning.
Yeah, paying attention in practice does it.
Paying attention to practice and watching film with older guys and just learning throughout the years.
I'm glad y'all are paying attention in practice. So for all the players, being able to play multiple positions, how do y'all feel about you know, you guys being here right now at this state championship level and playing those multiple positions, never coming off the field? Like, how do y'all feel on the sideline in game? Like, are y'all nervous? Are y'all excited? Are y'all anxious? Or you're just like, you know what? I played 6 other positions. I know what I'm doing.
I think just trying to stay focused, like listening to music in the locker room, watching a little extra film, and yeah.
Personally, I just feel blessed to be here again. Yeah, since I was a sophomore, freshman, I've been playing multiple positions. I mean, freshman year I lined up at tight end for the quarterfinals, something like that. On the sidelines, I don't think I get nervous. You know, I play a lot of positions. And I played football with his brother for 4 years, and I learned a lot from him. That's just what I think.
Yeah, like you said, it's my freshman year. I've played almost every position on the field, so I just, you know, you just got to stay focused and ready on the sideline, and you never know what's going to happen.
For the players again, can you just talk about the legacy that you want to leave, not just for your team, but for your school, knowing that regardless of how this week ends, the players who are coming after you will have something to look up to?
I would say just to always keep fighting and stay focused throughout school, football, whatever you're doing, and let's see, sorry. Yeah, just staying focused and staying buckled down to whatever you do.
We have a very small town, so every day before a game, we go walk to the elementary, you know, high five the little kids. high five the little kids, and bad guys. The legacy I want to leave is that on the field, you gotta be a clean player, you gotta be smart. Myself, I'm never tall or nothing like that. I feel like little kids that look up to me, they see that, and that's what I want to leave behind.
You know, you just got to keep the tradition alive in your small school. So, and they say lead by example. So, whenever you're walking around or doing whatever you are, and especially in a small school, the little kids they see and they look up to you. So,
Just staying on that film work.
Over here.
Tristan, Coach, this is for Weleetka and Tristan and Isaiah. First, this is a two-part question. Isaiah, first, you've obviously broken, I'm sure, a lot of records at Weleetka over the past year, obviously with you and your brother last year, but kind of what was that mentality coming into this year after a state championship win for you? And it seems like you've added to what you did last year. And Coach, what has it been like for you to see him grow into, that role more so as a leader this year as a senior versus last year?
I would say just staying consistent in what I do. Don't worry about the records or anything. Just stay focused and try to better every day.
And coaching has been, really fun, really special. I got hired in 2021, and these guys were 8th graders. And I'm sure he remembers kind of the way I handled him, the way I coached him. And I took him aside one of these days because, a lot of people noticed how hard I was on him. And, I had to take him aside one day and tell him, you're going to be the guy when you're a freshman, Growing up, his older brother was, a really special player for us. So he's kind of always in that shadow aspect of it, he still gets his name mixed up. They call him Isaac Drake a lot. He's Isaiah Drake. And I just told him, you're going to be the guy. No matter what happens, no matter how I, talk to you, whatever. And he's exceeded every expectation I had for him as a player and as a leader now.